listen to your show a lot, and it's nice to be able to get in. Your phone lines are always busy. That's a good thing. Congratulations. I don't really understand some of the gay community's fear of Trump. I don't know what Trump specifically as president can do. I live in Texas. I
Are
live
you
in
gay?
Austin.
Mark, are you gay?
I am gay. I am gay.
You're a gay.
I
You're
live
a
in
gay
Austin.
Republican.
I'm not a Republican. And brings me to my second point. I'm a moderate libertarian, is what I call myself. I
So
believe in
Mark,
freedom.
hold on one second. Hold on a second. Pause. So you are a gay man living in Austin, Texas. Do I have that right?
Yes.
And you don't understand why some gay people have some deep concerns about Trump, correct?
Well, that is correct. I'm a history teacher, and the president doesn't have power to affect gay people in any meaningful
Hold
way.
on one second. If you're a history teacher, then I'm sure you know about checks and balances and the three branches of government. But above anything, Mark, if you're a history teacher, you know this, that Trump is going to rely on the courts. Yep. He's going to rely on the courts, which was the way of Plessy versus Ferguson, 1896. Do you know what that is?
Well, actually, that was a correct decision in Plessy versus Ferguson. The way that it was applied was horrible.
No, it was not a correct decision in no way, shape, or form, because basically you're a history teacher and
What
you believe that Plessy versus Ferguson in 1896, which solidified Jim Crow. I mean, you. So you must agree with So then, do you believe that 1857, the Dred Scott ruling, was correct in the way that it was applied? You agree with that too?
Horrible. I believe that the dissent written by Justice Harlan on Plessy versus Ferguson is one of the best dissents ever written.
Mark, two of the worst Supreme Court cases is Dred Scott and Plessy versus Ferguson. And you dig Plessy versus Ferguson. That's disturbing to me. It was racist and violent and disgusting as hell.
And violent. But, generationally violent.
Yeah. But my point is, Mark, the idea that this president who wants to be a dictator is not going to impact gay folks or black folks or poor folks is just not true.
Yeah.
I mean, you could lay out what he wants to do. And I think it is important, the guy who was at the top. I think it is important when you have a Supreme Court ruling, Trump Supreme Court, that says we should question same-sex marriage. I think it is important when you have Project 2025 that basically wants to eliminate protections for LGBT people. They want no protections whatsoever. This is all in Project 2025. So I think that's why folks are concerned. Does that help, Mark?
Well, I think that, Project 2025 is kind of like the Green New Deal. It's a hope list of the extreme of the far right, and none of it's ever going to get implemented because we do have a Congress. And if you look at law, we have to pass laws in this country.
Okay, Mark. Yeah. So, but let's say it did. So you're asking, you're hoping the guardrails will sustain. I don't know about that, but you asked me why. Yeah, you're a happy gay man, pop dipping and spinning in Austin, Texas. You're good. You ain't worried at all. But you're asking me why there are LGBT folks who are concerned or other people who are concerned about Trump. I can go to black folks. I can go to a lot of folks. It's because of what they've said, what people who are working with him have said. I know folks who live in public housing are concerned. So we have to pay attention to what the wannabe dictator says. I hope as somebody who teaches children history, you understand that, right? I would hope. I mean, God forbid folks ignore what Barry Goldwater said. I mean, we got to pay attention to what people say and what they outline they want to do to people. So that's why people are concerned, Mark.
Well, I'll say this, Clay. You say a lot more of what Trump wants to do than what Trump says he wants to do. I think we should judge him on what he does, not what we suspect he will do.
Let's do that.
Let's go to what he does.
So, let's do that. And let's start with his first administration. Let's start with immediately he overturned an Obama-era rule to reinstate private prisons, private for-profit prisons. That was despicable. Let's talk about how he ended the National Task Force on Policing. Let's talk about how he appointed pretty much all white male conservative judge. I think it was at a 90% number. Let's talk about his war on HUD. I mean, I could go on. Let's talk about January 6th, trying to overturn democracy. I mean, let's talk about his tax
mishandling of COVID and COVID-19.
COVID. People, let's talk about him pausing giving funding to blue states, Mark. I mean, let's not act like he had some incredible, fantastic administration where people's lives weren't harmed. So I talk about what he wants to do because that's what he said. And the idea that we're not going to hold him accountable for what he says is just ridiculous. You aren't afraid. You pop dipping and spinning in Austin. That's good. But people have a right to be concerned when the man has said ridiculous, hateful things, and he has an administration behind him that wants to support him. Final comment. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, you list a bunch of things about Trump that are bad. I didn't vote for Trump. I would never vote for Trump. But you didn't list one thing he did that hurt the gay community, and that's what I was talking about. As a gay man in this country, I do not...
Wait a minute. Mark, let me say this. But, Mark, this is what you just said is so terrible. First of all, there are gay people who are black.
Hello.
There are gay people who are poor. There are gay people who live in public housing. What you said is just so despicable. Because maybe you're in your bubble of whatever gayness looks like, but there are gay people in every single community. There are gay people who are immigrants, right? And when Trump got into office, one of the first things he did was try to ban transgender troops. And there's also been a war on librarians or teachers who may have LGBT content. There was the entire Don't Say Gay bill from Ron DeSantis in Florida, and book bans. But the fact that what it is, Mark, it didn't impact you, and you don't care. That's the issue with people. You don't care until it impacts you. That's sad that you would say that. That's really the problem. We don't care until that gun turns on us. What's the line? First they came for so-and-so. First they came for so-and-so. First they came for so-and-so. Then they came for me, and nobody wanted to help me. Yep. You're the problem, man. Yeah. You are the problem. But I'm a nice guy. I'll give you a final comment.
Yeah, that's so unfair, Clay. Saying that we should wait and judge him on what he does, not just what we think he's going to do, in no way means that I don't care. It doesn't mean that I'm not concerned. It means I'm offering a philosophy of stop the warmongering, stop the hate mongering, stop accusing him of doing things he hasn't done. When he does something bad, call him out. He's done plenty of bad stuff he needs to be called out for. But there's no reason to put words in his mouth.
I should have played Barbra Streisand for him.
You should have played Streisand.